looked like.
Yeah, he was. So my biggest fear with this was that he would be like a rock. Like he would just be like unfazed, and he would just sit there and like go through the motions. But he didn't. Like he made eye contact. He cried. My mom was there as well. And in certain moments when I spoke about like being catatonic, being suicidal, being, you know, really deeply devastated, he would kind of look at my mom and like, yeah, you know, I don't know, there's not really words for that, but you know what I mean.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're making me cry.
Yeah, it's powerful, and so yeah, with in terms of progress, like it was such a powerful revolutionary space and such an energy of like, wow, we actually did this, and like this energy of uplifting standards of how much we believe in humanity. And in that space, he was like, I do want to share my story one day. I do want to help stop sexual violence. And that was everything to me. And so I actually do wish that there was a way we could follow up with that and he could like be supported in that. And maybe there is. Like, I clearly believe in manifestation and magic. So I don't know. Ask me again in 2 years, you know?
Girl, I can already see it manifesting as we speak. I mean, the fact that you've manifested this already is unbelievable. And it makes perfect sense to me that, you know, what you're thinking of in terms of being able to somehow know, you know, what their healing process is like. There must be some sort of information that women could tap into, because I think that also plays a role, and you, of course, would know more about this, but in terms of your healing, it might create some sort of sense of closure, kind of knowing, you know, how it ended up for him or where he is in his life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll add, too, that it was clear that the therapy leading up to the circle was very transformative for him. Like, he shared that he is more aware of, like, hookup culture and patriarchal conditioning, and he's passionate about, like, caring about objectification culture, and he, like, was embodying consent. At the end of the circle, he asked, he's like, as a sign of gratitude and respect, I wonder if you would shake my hand, and if not, that's totally okay. And just to hear him embody that level of consent and honor my no and honor my yes was like, whew, like some ancient spell was like undone through that handshake. So yeah, definitely, it was definitely transformative for him.
Well, that is pure magic. So I'm curious, I mean, we've kind of touched on this, but if you could kind of focus in a bit more, how did seeking this restorative justice help you in your healing process?
Yeah, so much. Like, this trauma used to be my biggest source of victimhood and devastation and pain. And now when I feel into what this became, which concluded with this circle and with me doing interviews and founding an org and like doing all this incredible stuff, like, and like this, the power of listening to my heart, even though it felt delusional in contrast to what the system teaches us. I feel like this is my biggest source of empowerment now. Like, this is like, wow, like, we can do anything. We can go into the most dense system, a system as dense as like the sexual violence justice system. And we can bring our magic there and watch everything transform around us to meet us where we're at. And this is like so empowering to me. And honestly, I think of like my inner child who came to this world with friggin' sparkling eyes and gratitude to be alive, and I'm like, she was right. Like, let her be, you know?
Oh my God, you're giving me chills, Marley. So amazing. You're such an inspiration. really.
Thank you.
How do you think women should come together to address this issue and create solidarity for healing?
So powerful. So, I mean, there's so much. I think that creating space for us to feel whatever we're feeling is essential. And something that gets twisted with my story a lot is that I'm often painted in the image of like a white saint who is all forgiving and unfazed. And I'm like, no. Like, what this is creating space for us to connect with the raw and the real and the primal. Like it's like creating space for us to rage and cry and laugh and feel what we need to feel in order to come fully into our bodies. So I think that just creating that space and welcoming all of the human spectrum of emotions, divinity and love included, is really important.
Yeah, and you also mentioned to me when we spoke previously that you have now a group of women. I think you said it was on Facebook, or people kind of reaching out to you that were struggling with the same issues. Is that something that's kind of creating a platform for healing?
Yeah, definitely. So after I shared my story with the media, with Forbes and HuffPost and Mel Robbins Show, all these things, I was receiving like thousands of emails. And I already was working with women. I was offering retreats and all these things. But what I found was women were showing up and being like, I want support with my sexual reclamation. And so this is what really like catalyzed me into creating these spaces. So now I'm like really doing that work as a coach and creating space for sacred sensuality and honoring sisterhood and all of these things.
Oh, thank God for that. That is unbelievable. And we are actually going to be diving much deeper into how you work with women in the next segment. So to be continued. But can you tell us about your online offerings and about some of the things that you're doing now? I know that you just launched a new program and you're doing amazingly well. So maybe you could just, tap into that.
Yeah, thank you. So if people go to my website, marleeliss.com, they'll find a free masterclass on the pleasure revolution. So this is basically all about how reclaiming our own pleasure in our bodies like changes the freaking world. So this is amazing. And then the work I'm doing, the program I just launched is called the Sacred Sensual Wholeness Academy. And it is a gorgeous 3-month program where we come together in sisterhood and dive so deep into this juicy reclamation and erotic empowerment and body love, transforming trauma, supporting one another, and just cultivating so much self-love.
Wow, how incredible. So you just launched this now. Have you started already?
Yeah, so this is actually just as maybe a little bit untrue. This is actually the second round. We started in May was the first round. So yeah, we just began a new round of this program, and the next one will be in December. So I'm going to keep doing this. So there's definitely opportunity to work with me for anyone who's feeling that call. Go to my website, connect with my masterclass. I also always tell people, like, I am a human, so please, if this resonated with you or you just want to, like, be friends, reach out to me, find me on Instagram, Marlee Liss, and just connect.
Yeah, amazing. So your Instagram handle is Marlee, at Marlee Liss?
Yes, yeah, you got it.
Okay. And your website is www.marleeliss.com.
Yes.
So amazing. So for all of you ladies that are feeling that you could use some sexual empowerment, embodiment, which I think really most women can connect to that feeling on varying levels. Marlee is amazing. She has a tremendous amount of experience, and your story is so unique and transformative. So, Marlee, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me and for all the amazing work that you're doing as well.
Thank you so much. And thanks for taking the time to be with us on Divine Couples. Feel free to check us out at www.divine-couples.com. You can check out our social media page on Instagram at divine.couples, adding intimacy, passion, and healing to your lives. Thanks again for joining us on Divine Couples. I am your host, Naomi.
Join us next time to continue your journey in exploring the depths of your life force energy. Until then, this has been your host, Naomi Slater. If you have any more questions on this subject, feel free to reach out. Follow her on Instagram at divine.couples. And to see all of her offerings, visit her website at theworldwideweb.divine-couples.com.